Hi, this is Kate Motaung, founder of Refined Services, host of 5 Minute Friday, and publishing consultant at Fistbump Media. And today I'm going to tell you about one of my all-time favorite writing tools. It's called Scrivener, and it's basically a glorified version of Microsoft Word. This is the homepage where they offer it for sale, and it comes in two different versions. You can either choose Scrivener for Mac or Scrivener for Microsoft Windows. I'm going to click over to my own version of Scrivener, and for this tutorial I'll be working with a manuscript called the Startup Guide for Online Writers, just to show you a demo. I use Scrivener for everything from blog posts to full-length manuscripts, and one of my favorite features of Scrivener is the fact that you can keep everything regarding to your writing project in one place. You can keep your research, your notes, your documents, all your chapters, everything in one spot, and there's no clicking back and forth between documents and programs and apps. It's just all in one place. So I'm going to show you some of my favorite features in this demo, and it's by no means an extensive tutorial on the entirety of what Scrivener offers or how it works, but I hope this short video will be enough to whet your appetite and show you some of the great things that make Scrivener so amazing. So you start by creating your document, and within your document you can actually create subsections. You can create, just by clicking the Add button here, create a new section in the left sidebar. You could create this into a larger section, or you can drag it into a smaller subset to organize your writing. So in this case, I've divided this manuscript into 5 different units. You can see Unit 1 here, Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4, and Unit 5, and within each of those units I have different subunits with categories underneath each of those units. So that's one way that you can divide it up. There are also different viewing options within Scrivener. You can view your document in small bites where each little subsection is its own document, and when you scroll down it stops there. Or if you prefer to view it all as kind of an endless scroll, you can do that by clicking this button up on the top with the 3 pages, and it will show you everything. It will show a little section break, but that doesn't show up when you print it out. You can scroll all the way down. If you want to switch back, you just click that button again. Another feature I love is if you click this top button here that has a brown rectangle, it will show you a corkboard of your different units. And another really cool feature is that you can literally just drag and drop these into different order. If you decide maybe you're writing fiction and you think one chapter actually should be down in a different area, or you want to rearrange things a little bit, you can just drag and drop. You don't have to copy and paste all of that text from one place to another. So that's pretty amazing. I'm just going to put it back in place quickly so that I have the right order for myself. But you can rearrange as quickly as that. You probably saw in the left sidebar as I was doing that it even changed it in the sidebar for me. Another feature that I love is that you can write notes for yourself on some of these different index cards. So you can write notes to self here, and it will show up when you view that index card. It also will show up when you click over to the actual unit. You can continue to write to yourself. Here, more notes to self, if I can spell. And then when you go to the corkboard view, it shows up in the index card. You can label each of your index cards with different colors, different names. If you have some with different concepts or chapters or status, you can update the status, whether it's to do, it's a first draft, revised draft, final draft. You can even rename those statuses. You can have the date that it was modified. You can keep notes to yourself here as well. A lot of ways that you can keep notes in ways that don't actually appear in the document. There's a research folder down in this left sidebar where you can keep all the research that you'd like to have for your project without it appearing in the final manuscript. You can even take a website from your web browser and drag it into Scrivener, and it will show up in the research button of your project. Isn't that amazing? Another feature I really like is that you can set goals for yourself. You can set project targets, either for the whole manuscript or for a session of writing. If you're sitting down and you say, okay, I'm not going to stand up until I've hit 500 words, you can set that target for yourself. You can also see statistics of how many words and pages your project would be, that type of thing, different options in the project statistics. Another thing you can do is view it as more of a list like this. If you're more of a list person, you can view the lists and the different units like that with your different categories and different sections. You can also, while you're working, you can hide some of the different menus here. So let's see if I can find it. View. Okay, you can hide the binder, which is what's on the left, or the inspector, which is what is on the right. So I'm going to hide the inspector. It gives me a wider workspace. And then this button in the top right corner, you can split your screen. You can split your screen horizontally like this, where you're working on one aspect, but you want to compare it maybe. You compare it to this section. You can look at two sections of your manuscript at the same time, or you can even split horizontally and look at them that way. And if you want to change this one, you just click the top and change which section you'd like to work on. Click down here, change this section. It's really helpful if you're comparing two different versions or referring to different chapters at the same time, or you could even put some of your research on the bottom and some of your actual manuscript on the top or side to side. So those are some of the main features I love. One more thing before I stop here is you can also, if you're easily distracted or feeling cluttered in your mind, you can also do something called the composition mode. And if you click enter composition mode, it blocks out everything else on your screen. And you can change the paper width if you prefer it to be more narrow or wider as you're reading. You can change the text scale if you want it to be larger. And it's really helpful if you want to block out any distraction while you're trying to work. So I hope that's been helpful. I'd love to hear from you what you like or don't like about Scrivener if you have it, and some of the ways that you've been using it for yourself. And if you don't have it yet, I hope this video has persuaded you that it's a really excellent tool for writers, whether you're a blogger or a book author. I've talked to many people who have written books in Word, and once they've discovered Scrivener have said they will never go back. And I'm one of those people who falls into that category. So once you've tasted it and gotten to work with it a little bit, it really is an amazing tool for you. All right, I hope this has been helpful.